This concept that P. Diddy could have someone killed is laughable. I mean, he couldn't save his own bodyguard. I mean, there's just, these stories are plentiful about all of the
It's not
horrible things
laughable. I'm
that
gonna
they have
let you know
ability to
right
do.
now that I'm from the street. I grew up around this dude. It's not laughable. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So
You
let's
grew up
pump the
around
brakes
Puff
a little
Daddy?
bit.
If you got
I know
money,
for a fact it's
you
not
got that much
laughable.
money, and you
Exactly.
got that much street credit, you can get
Man.
people killed. And the good thing about
Yeah,
it
Absolutely.
is for them is that you can get people killed and nobody ever know. Just like you can get Shine to go to prison for you. Like he literally got a guy to shoot him up and went to jail for Diddy. Shine didn't snitch. So you got guys that'll do the crime for you, and they'll do the time for you if you powerful enough like Diddy. You got enough money, you can represent them in court. You can get them out. I mean, I would
But you don't
argue,
see
and I
the-
think
you don't see
probably
the-
know a
I
little bit.
remember, yeah, as I remember, Diddy was acquitted of the very case where he was convicted. So I don't know how you transmogrify that into that he did the time for Diddy. Diddy was on trial with that case. Ben Brofman and Johnny Cobb. That was Johnny's last criminal case that he tried with Diddy, what, 25 years ago?
Yeah, and I bet you Diddy
2001,
didn't have any
Diddy-
credible witnesses that would testify against him either. So
Diddy
he
had his own chauffeur. His own chauffeur testified against him. His own chauffeur in New York testified against him and testified specifically that Diddy tried to bribe him. He had receipts, and he wasn't killed. He wasn't attacked or anything else. This wokeism, and I'm going to carry this 1 second. This idea that you can say, well, that's a black guy and he's a rapper and he can get you killed, that's all made up. Tell me the name of one person who's been hit or killed at the direction of a rapper. One name.
Lord Jamar.
Because Shine sure
Hang on,
would have.
hang on.
You won't be able to. You're
Let
not
me
going to
get-
tell
hang on, let me get-
that.
I wanna
If you
hear-
had a track record, then it won't be effective.
Hey, let me
These
ask
people
Lord-
get people killed all the time.
Let me get Lord Jamar to answer that question.
Listen, I'm not going to sit here with a laundry list of names. I'm just letting you know that it's absolutely possible. I believe it's absolutely been done in the history of not just rap, just of powerful men, powerful people in all different kinds of industry have used their power to kill people when they feel it's necessary. And the smart ones don't get caught. The smart ones have lawyers and stuff saying, oh, they would never do that. Like the smart ones cover their tracks, but don't act like it's not within the realm of possibility. This is not some sort of conspiracy theory that people are pulling out their ass. Like, this is real shit. Like, I'm telling you, coming from New York and all of that type of stuff, I know about street culture, and I know this is absolutely within his power, and we're just going to leave it at that.
All right, Matthew. I'm surprised. Hang on. I'm surprised, Matthew, to hear you give this kind of blanket. No rappers have ever killed anyone. I mean, you can't honestly believe that.
Well, maybe not in New York. I can tell you there's no one in California who's represented more African Americans and Hispanics and rappers than I have. I mean, it's not close. It's not close. And I'm not saying that that's an impossibility, but literally you can't find a successful conviction of a rapper who was predominantly a rapper for committing any crime. Shine is a perfect example.
How about my brother Chi Ali? How many years he got for murdering someone? Look up a guy named Chi Ali. He was a rapper that ended up killing his girlfriend's brother for doing some wildness. There's an example.
Well,
and he served
I'll give you an example of since there was a reference made to the gang culture. Killing someone in a personal battle is not considered gang related in any way. You can't use the gang to enforce rules.
He didn't say you're
social...
now moving the goalposts. We didn't say the killing has to be gang related. We're saying rappers that may have.
You said he killed his girlfriend. Okay.
Well, if you ever listen to drill rap, I think everybody on the panel know what drill rap is, right? We know what drill rapping is. These rappers, literally, some of them have gone to jail. Some of them have been killed on live stream. These dudes order hits. They got gangsters that will do business for them. It's crazy to think that. I mean,
and then they rap about it afterwards.
Maybe you will never see it because they're good at it. But People order hits all the time. People do stuff to venge their big dogs all the time. I don't know how that's even mentioned on this live stream or this show that rappers ain't getting people killed. Rappers are killing
Little
people
Dirk
themselves.
is in trouble right now for ordering a hit, actually. Little Dirk.
But you know who's not in trouble? You know who's not in trouble for it? It's P. Diddy.
All right.
P. Diddy.
Let me ask Mark.
There's not a shred of evidence.
Okay, so do you think
We're
Matthew?
we're saying it's possible, though.
Hang
We're
on,
saying
Matthew.
he's capable.
Well, Matthew, do you think
Sure,
in that case,
it's possible.
do you think he's going to walk P. Diddy?
I'm sure. He's got a very, very good defense team. And in this case, to any experienced, and they're very experienced, this is not a real case. I wish they would get away from saying he's a spectacular human being and just deal with the facts and say him and his wife were swingers, or he was in a relationship that was open and they like to do these certain things. Keep it to that. When you start saying he's a wonderful human being, you open yourself up, or the defense opens himself up for arguments to say, no, he's really a violent person and he's involved in this culture and that culture, when you don't need it, because there's no evidence that shows that this guy, you can't convict someone of paying commercial sex workers for committing commercial sex work. Okay. I think he's walking. He should.
Can I add one thing? Can I add one thing?
Is that legal?
We already talked about.
Yeah, Brandon,
we already talked about federal. Real quick, we already talked about federal conviction rates. I have family members that went down on federal charges. The federal government don't just take lightly the investigations that they do. They do it over a course of time. They have a bunch of evidence against you. That's why their conviction rates are so good. And I think that for them to get Diddy, they don't have to do this. They wouldn't pursue this if they didn't have something, in my opinion. So for them to get Diddy on this, I think they have some substance there. Now, can he walk? That's the beauty of defense attorneys. That's the beauty of people being able to put together a good argument that can get you off on technicalities, on the fact that you can impeach witnesses. I mean, you go down the list. That's why they pay these defense attorneys so much money, because as you can see, you have high profile people that may have done the crime, but they get off.
Look, let's be clear.
That's the way our justice system works.
Let's be clear. When someone like O.J. Simpson can get cleared, then anything can happen. So let me
just remember.
Hang on, Mark.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just remember, before we jump on this bandwagon that they must have had this, they must have had that, there is a fight currently going on in the Southern District. And the DOJ, led by Emile Beauvais and Pam Bondi, have already said they've shown the website for the then U.S. attorney, a guy by the name of Damian Williams. He was bragging about the fact that he had indicted on his way out the door, basically. He had indicted both Eric Adams and P. Diddy, a rapper and a mayor. And that was one of the reasons they thought that didn't look good. The DOJ, it wasn't me, it wasn't the defense lawyer, it was the Department of Justice. They're fighting, trying to dismiss Eric Adams. Eric Adams and Diddy were both indicted by that U.S. attorney on his way out the door. He's no longer there. So let's hold on a little bit. And by the way, as to ordering people to get killed, as I sit here in Los Angeles today, and I appreciate it, guys, I may not run in the same circles. My only two clients that are accused right now of ordering a hit are both females who are accused of ordering hits on their ex-husbands. So let's make sure we call it like we see them. They're the only high-profile hit crimes.
And they're sloppy. They're not good at it as many.
That's why you have to defend them. So.
Yeah.
Well, I've done 2 series of interviewing women killers called Killer Women, so I can attest they can actually be very good at killing people.